Thank you very much. This is the teamwork that we always, love about this UBridge.
Yeah. Help everyone to cross the bridge.
Yes, true. So, yep, another 2 more minutes before we start. Okay. One of the things that when it comes to online, especially you try to admit everybody, you are so exciting seeing that participants keep coming in. Yeah, so this is the world of technology.
Yeah, it's certainly a wonderful thing. Thank you to people from joining us from all across the world today. Thank you. We will record today and share the recording afterwards, so don't worry. Yep. Sometimes for online presentations, when I see the camera, I see people scribbling notes. You don't need to worry. We'll share everything afterwards.
Yes, that's right. Okay, I don't want to wait for too long. It's 2:35 now. Let's start on time. It's always good for us to start when those who are coming early. So, okay, good afternoon, everybody. As an official again, thank you very much joining us today, especially on the midweek in the afternoon. I know everyone is busy. It's a recruiting time, as well as we'd like to thank to those who are joining us as a parents or students who with us for today's topic, how did my UC Berkeley dream come true, with one of our star students, Benson Chang. So, of course, today I have my colleague here, our VP, Vice President of Recruitment, joining me as a co-host, Mr. Jonathan Whitehouse. He actually based in Hong Kong, and he has a very vast experience, not just US, but he's actually born in UK, studying in UK, and I always fascinating someone who are actually from UK, talk about US, because he has always have a different perspective of UK as well as US. And here we are sending students to US to make their dream come true, to join the elite university in the US. So yeah, and I hope today everyone will enjoy these sessions, especially the dialogue with Benson Chan. So he actually now currently having his holiday in Taiwan. That's why we can actually make it today at 2:30 in the afternoon. If he today is in California, I think he's already, partying, or he's actually, enjoying his, admissions to UC Berkeley. So I'm glad, and we are glad that he's here with us. Before I start the whole session, Jonathan, would you like to give a few words before I start?
Yes, thank you, Betty. A big thank you to everyone for joining us today, and a special thank you to Benson, because I know that you've obviously just got back and you're recovering from dental surgery. So thank you for joining us today. I think it's great to hear from a student, to hear about the experience, because I mean, I'm from the UK. I grew up in London, as many people know, and I was in California in April. And I couldn't help thinking, wow, what a wonderful experience it is. It's got so many great universities, so many options, opportunities, almost too many sometimes, almost too many choices. So you need some of the support the UBridge provides. And today we're going to hear more, obviously, from Benson about how he worked with his advisor to be very, very successful and get into UC Berkeley, which is an amazing achievement. That's one of the world's great universities. I think in recent times, obviously, people have their choices. There's many countries to choose from. I think, you can choose between the UK, Europe, Australia. They're all open again now after COVID-19 has disappeared. So I think it's good news. There's choices, but sometimes don't forget the US does have the most top universities in the world still. And it does have great options for students, and it's a great environment to study in. So we're looking forward to hearing more from Benson shortly, but I'll pass back to Betty, and Betty will give a quick introduction to University Bridge. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. Yep. Now, to benefit those who join us as a parents or students, or maybe some of you are new counselor, I will just briefly tell you or share about what is University Bridge before we actually dive into Benson experience with University Bridge. Now, for University Bridge, basically, I always tell my parents or students, we always have these 3 pillars. Pillar number 1 is the 2+2 program. It's an assured admissions, whereby 2 years student will be actually joining our co-host partner community college in the US. We have 4 campuses in California and 1 in Virginia. 2 years with us, year 1 and year 2, then transfer to elite university for year 3 and year 4. Another pillar that I always share with everybody, especially students who are nervous or even don't know what they're going to do, and they need a lot of support, whereby we have this one-on-one support. Private elite advisor, always be there for 360 all inclusive support. Of course, not 24/7, but at least you have someone to reach out to whenever you need, not just in your welfare, but in terms of your academic as well as your transfer later on. Then aside from that, of course, we have this final one is the proven result. From year to years, our number of students has been transferring to top 50 university or even top 100 university has been growing. So no doubt that we have a proven result that students has been transferred to the elite university. Another thing's good about University Bridge that we give guaranteed transfer. These are the 5 universities that will actually get student will get the guaranteed admissions, of course, with at least GPA of 3.2 and above for UC Davis, and then UC Santa Barbara, UC Irvine, University of Virginia, College William & Mary is 3.4 and above. These are the guaranteed admissions. So normally I will tell students, apply to this tech guarantee university. Once you get it, at least you are actually get a safety net. The rest of the top ranking university priority admission like UCLA, UC Berkeley, San Diego, or even Southern California, if you get it, it's your bonus. So at least you know which university actually accept you. as I mentioned earlier on, we have 4 campuses in California and 1 in Virginia. These are all located, 2 of them located in Los Angeles and the other 2 in San Francisco. So I've been there in 2020, now it's 2023, right? Okay, 2021. So before actually being there, I actually also have that kind of thought, you know, what is it like? Is it community college is really small or not? Actually, it's quite surprisingly, their campus is as huge as public university or even a private university. I mean, like, I'm sure Benson will share about it later on, but I'm actually impressed with the facilities, with the campus size, as well as their club and society. Okay, so this is about the campuses locations. Next, every year in the month of April, May, June is, I would say, every one of us, or particularly our advisor, they are very nervous because they want to know which university our student has been transferred. So basically for this year, the result is out and we are very, very happy with the percentage. You can see from the screen, 89% of the UBridge class of 2023 were admitted into top 50 university, and then 96% to top 100 university. You may be wondering, how about UCLA, UC Berkeley? Now, for UCLA and UC Berkeley, these are the admission percentage. 40% to UC Berkeley and 50% to UCLA. Just for information, in order for you to join this top ranking university, normally I will always tell students you need to maintain your GPA at least 3.8 and above. And if you really want to, make sure yourself get into this top ranking university, you have to make sure that you can't afford to get B and below for every semester of your subject. So you know how tough it is to get into top ranking university. And we always, having a lot of joy when our students get into those, particularly for these 2 universities. Now, in terms of the rest of the university, you can see from the percentage. So you see, basically in California, they have about 10, they actually have 10 University of California. All of them are public university. Only University of California, San Francisco that are cater for postgraduate. The rest are undergraduate and postgraduate. So you can see from here, UCSB is Santa Barbara, UCSD is University of San Diego, UCI is University of California, Irvine, and UCD is UC Davis. So the percentage is all above 50% and above. Now, I think this is the moment that everyone is actually waiting for. How did Benson's get into UC Berkeley dream come true? So I don't want to introduce him myself. I want him to introduce himself, and I will let Jonathan to join me for this dialogue of Benson's wish come true to UC Berkeley.
Okay. Thank you, Betty. Benson, we'll let you say a few words about yourself. I mean, obviously, we're going to go through more details about your background, about your experiences, but yeah, tell us a bit about yourself.
So, hello, my name is Benson, and I came from Taiwan and just joined UBridge in the year of 2021. And I just finished my last semester with UBridge and now transferring to UC Berkeley.
Okay, thank you. First of all, maybe just tell us about your studies before University Bridge. Tell us about, what you were planning to do for university. And obviously, you're exceptional because you are a student with really, really good IELTS and TOEFL scores even before. So tell us a bit about that, because I think it's quite remarkable. When I saw your IELTS score, especially, I was blown away. I thought, wow, why when I did IELTS examining did I never have students like this? Most of my students who I examined ended up with IELTS 4 or 5. So when I saw your score, I was quite blown away. So tell us a little bit about your IELTS and TOEFL and your high school.
So basically, I've been through the public school system in Taiwan for most of my life. I've never studied abroad, and yeah, my IELTS scores and TOEFL scores are pretty good. I got 8.5 overall on IELTS and 112 on TOEFL, so which is pretty good on my regard. Though my high school GPA wasn't great. I have like a 3.0 or something like that, because Asian schools doesn't give that good of a grade on GPA. So Yeah, though I always have the a dream to study abroad, whether it's UK or US. I applied to colleges in high school for freshman admissions, but the turnout is that it's not that good. So that's why I have to consider UBridge, and now I have this great outcome, and I'm just really happy about it.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. The grading system from Taiwan is very, very tough, isn't it? I think
It is. It is. Especially I am in like a top high school in my region, so they have like a deflation kind of on the grade. So oftentimes the average is just not pass in the course. So yeah, it's just really tough.
how did you feel when you got your first grades in the US?
Well, I'm just happy, excited to say the least. Like for once I can do A's, and it's just exceptional.
Yeah, I mean I think that's definitely one of the things that many students find is the system is quite different. The grading is quite different actually. But it's exciting because obviously you had very good schooling background. Did you find any subjects particularly difficult initially in the US?
Well, to me, it's about like language for writing and literature. It's a little bit hard for me since it's not my first language and I have to take time to adjust to it. But over time, it just became a lot easier for me, and I ended up getting both A's on those two subjects. So yeah, it's not really that hard.
Okay, great, yeah. So after high school, like most students, you applied to different universities. Tell us about your choices. Like there's a lot of choices. You could have gone to university in Taiwan, you could have gone overseas. Why did you choose US? Was there any reason?
So when I came out of high school, I wasn't really sure what to do, although I've applied to computer science for most of my college applications. I really didn't know what to do, and United States provides me this freedom of choice of courses, like for the first 2 years or so, you have this undeclared major, and you can take whatever class you want and explore further on what you want to do. So that's mainly why I want to go to US. And then plus there's United States has the most good schools in the world and a lot more internship opportunities, and I can expand my career there. So yeah, it's just my top choice.
Okay. You must have been very happy though when you got the offers. Were you not tempted by some of them initially? Did you not think, oh, these are quite good offers? Because you got some pretty good offers there already.
Well, I've always wanted to study in Bay Area for Stanford or UC Berkeley, and getting these offers from Purdue, Arizona State, and Indiana, it wasn't bad, but it just wasn't on par to my expectations. So, I'm quite sad actually to not get into one of my dream schools. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can certainly understand. I can certainly understand that. And I think this is something for many students to think about actually in general. You should try and make your dream come true. If you don't get there the first time, you can have a second try. This is a way to actually have a second go, because getting in for year one direct entry is very, very competitive. It's not easy. So yeah, so you ended up getting your UC Berkeley dream, which we'll come to later. I'll pass over to Betty now to ask the next question.
Thank you, Jonathan. Now, next one is your experience as a community college students. Let us know what is it like studying in community college, because a lot of people have this kind of perception. Oh, since community college is a small classes, small campuses. Yeah, maybe you want to share a bit more.
So studying in community college is kind of a new experience for me. It's not like there's like big lectures in a four-year university that that the movies or Netflix episodes advertise you. It's more like a 20 to 30 students per class, and you get to have good interactions with professors, and they took good care of you. Yeah, that's basically it. Community college, it's generally smaller. But I would say community college in California was just excellent. They have a designated campus. It just feels like you're in a real for your university though. So
Okay. I'm sure you get more attentions compared to 4 years university because the size.
Yes.
Okay. It will help you to prepare even better before you get into 4 years university.
You get to have great interactions with professors. I
Mhm.
will mention it a little bit later, but I did have a professor that, you know, taught me a special project, and I think that definitely added some highlights to my admissions. I mean, to my applications. But
Mhm. Okay. How about your classmate? Did they
Okay.
study hard? You know, as how you do? Do you guys make do group study, having same goal to transfer into top university?
Community college, it's quite diverse regarding the studying environment. There is like half of the students who has the same goal to go to the top university, and there's half of them like they already have a full-time job and they're just coming back to pursue a specific course. So I'd say generally classmates study hard, but yeah, you know, it's very competitive sometimes. If you're willing to getting a grade A, you know, it's easy to get a grade A, but it's easy not to get it as well, because if you fall behind on like some deadlines, and then you will easily get a B or C. So yeah, but overall, the environment is quite good. I have like a study group. I have friends who go out to study together, and we did have like learning center which can helps you on your classwork, schoolworks, and you can find a lot of classmates who have you know, similar interests and passion. So yeah, it's a great place to study.
I see. Great. How about your curriculum? Did you do extra curriculum? Did you, you know, join club, involve very actively?
So one thing about community college is there ain't that much of a like student clubs comparing to a four-year university. My school though, we've got a lot of students clubs like culture clubs, you know, Taiwanese Student Association, Chinese Student Association, and also like Student Senate. And yeah, but I ended up not doing those. But I did go to like off-campus kind of a cycling team and club, and I spend most of my time with them. And also I work part-time on campus. So like I work at the writing center as a student assistant. I
Oh,
spend
okay.
about 10 hours on that per week. And also I did a special project with my math professors during my final semester, and it's on linear algebra and machine learning. So it's pretty cool. I did do kind of a lot of extracurricular. So
You mentioned just now about you actually you assist in the writing.
yeah.
Did you have to go and apply, or how do you source out this? Do you need to be very resourceful, or do you need to be asking help to involve in this kind of writing, helping?
So it's actually really easy because there's multiple centers, and also there's a cafeteria and bookstores that you can apply for the job.
Okay.
And you just really need to walk in and then ask for application, and when the time comes, you can just easily get in. So it's not competitive in community college. So yeah, it's really easy.
I see. It's good to know that, because a lot of students always ask, you know, can I get a job? Because of the student visa, you're only allowed to work on campus.
Yeah, it's a great experience. Not only you get the social security number and you know, give you like give you credit scores for renting apartments or stuff like that, but really it's a great place to get to know students and professors, talk to them, and you know, practice your, you know, oral presentation kind of, and also learn working experience. So I would recommend students to go to work on campus. Yes.
Okay, good to know that. Yeah. I heard just now you talk about cycling team, good relationship with the key professor. So working on campus, I think just now you mentioned about this already. So do you think this all actually help you in terms of your transfer applications when you apply to UC?
To be honest, I don't know, because the application process is it's like we don't know how they decide, but I would say my GPA wasn't that good comparing to other admitted students. So I definitely think my both my application essay and my extracurricular activities plays a really big part in terms of my application. Yes.
Okay. I think from this week, from this session, we know that, you know, GPA is one of the priority, but these are the things also, will help. We may not know what help, but at least we involve in all this, project, extra curriculum, and have a good relationship with the professor.
Yes.
So yeah, okay, good to know that. Now, nationality. I think a lot of parents and students will like it. Would like to know whether, what kind of nationality. Is it a lot of matured students? Yeah, give me some of your experience.
So based on my experience, my school is College of San Mateo, and it's based around Bay Area. There's about 5 to 10% of international students. And I would say it's really diverse since we're already in California. Most are Asians and whites and Hispanic, and it's distributed equally. So, you just feel really comfortable in that environment. So yeah, it's a very diverse student body. But I would say if you go down to Southern California, the community college there, I think there's going to be a higher percentage of international students and Asian students.
How about matured students? Did you see a lot, or it's because of the student population? I don't think you will see a lot of matured students.
Yeah, no, there's a good amount, but still, yeah.
Okay. Experience with University Bridge. I will let Jonathan to take over. It's very much about, what is your experience with University Bridge, especially with our advisor and our services. I'll pass to you, Jonathan.
Okay, thank you, Betty. So obviously you came into University Bridge. We talked earlier about your background being very, very strong. I mean, you came in with one of the strongest backgrounds, actually. So University Bridge, one of the crucial things I always think for students actually is the support and the advisor. And you were lucky because you worked with Michelle, who's absolutely brilliant. As are all the advisors, I should say. Actually, I think most of our advisors have been through the community college system themselves. They've gone on to top universities. That's generally the trend. So tell us a little bit about Michelle and how she helped you.
So Michelle is the advisor at College of San Mateo. So she's in charge of the, basically everything in my life and academic during my time in California. She's a very generous person. She's very willing to help anytime. Advisors is the person who makes all the difference to my application and my life in America. So thank you to her. So yeah, she helps me on career plans and daily life at community college. She's like the only best person that you can find when it comes to like when you have problems, in community college. Like if you want to take or drop courses, if you have questions on what majors to choose or to change. And yeah, she's got a ton of experience since she's once a community college transfer student as well. She transferred to UCLA from what I know. And so she definitely knows all the difficulties and the problems we will face as transfer students. And she just have a ton of knowledge to and a lot of tools to help you survive college courses. And yeah, she did go extra miles. Like when I first went to the United States, I'm willing to get a driver license and to buy a car. I just asked for her advices on like where to find the coaches and how to get a driver license and everything about it. So yeah, UBridge advisors are just awesome.
That's great to hear. So I mean, in terms of, obviously we go through this in our marketing materials already, so people are quite familiar with this, but in terms of support you got, I mean, maybe let's start at the beginning, because you started off as an online student.
Yeah.
How did it go initially online? You met up online every 2 to 3 weeks, you had meetings, you went through the course selection, and then obviously you went to the US. But how does it work with the advisor in the course selection? How do you choose the courses? Because that's one of the hardest things to do, actually.
Yes.
When I look at the course list, I'm blown away. I'm like, wow, so many choices. How do you choose? Yeah. Wow.
I echo that. Yeah. So like I said it previously, the United States has the most freedom on choosing courses, and there's like a ton of them, maybe like 1,000 of courses offered on just a community college. So it can be just really hard to get to know what course to take if you don't have advisors to assist you. So basically how it works is first I schedule an appointment with Michelle, and I just told her about what career path and what major I'm willing to do. And then we just find out the agreement and like what requirement I would have to do in order to transfer. And then we just step by step, we we put like the priorities and like what kind of lower division classes I have to take. And that's how it works. And I ended up taking the classes I need without panicking, without having to like, put all the important classes in my final semester and stress out. And so, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's I mean, I know I've come across students actually who have gone directly into community colleges and had that last minute panic. So I know exactly what you mean. I think also when it comes to sort of the transfer, did you change your major to get into UC Berkeley? Because you talked before about computer science.
Yeah. So I did in fact change my my major from the most common computer science nowadays to applied mathematics, and there's several factors behind that. Since the first of all is I wasn't really sure I wanted to do computer science after 2 semesters at community college, because I am not too into coding, so I just wanted to change my path. So applied mathematics is like the basis of science and all the engineering studies. So I think that would be a good start for me. And also it's really easy for me to take up another minor when I transfer to a 4-year university. So that's what I did. And also to add on that, mathematics gives me a little bit more opportunity to get into top UCs. So yeah, that's the reasons behind that.
I think that's one of the key advantages the US system has, is that you have flexibility of major. I have friends who go to the UK and they do their bachelor's degree and they're stuck with their major. It's almost impossible to change out of it once you're on that path, unfortunately. And it's very difficult to know when you're 18 years old what you want to study.
Yeah, definitely.
I think a lot of people do think computer science. I meet people every day who say computer science, and I ask them why. And someone said to me the other day, it's because I like flying drones. I said, really? Do you think that's really computer science? That's not what you'll be studying necessarily. So people have all sorts of funny ideas sometimes. How did your advisor help you with selecting the colleges you applied to? Obviously, you're in California, so you're going to be aiming for the California UC system. But how did she help you with choosing the colleges?
So basically in California, you just applied to all the UCs. So I wouldn't say advisor helped me to choose the campus, but I would say advisors helped me through the application process through, helping me find what majors to apply to and what alternative major to apply to. So it was really helpful, and they just make sure that my GPA is on track and I am able to get the tag admissions to some of the UCs. And yeah, they just make sure my applications went well.
How do you feel when you get the first offer? How did you feel?
Well, I wouldn't want to say the first offer, because my first offer was like UC
Before,
Santa Cruz,
obviously, but the first
I would want to share a little bit on my reactions on getting into UC Berkeley. So it was actually a really fun story, because I was down in Monterey, if you know that, attending like a really big cycling festival. And I was in this out of nowhere parking lot and in my car when Michelle called me to check my portal when like the decision came out. So yeah, I just checked in my car, and when I figured out I got into UC Berkeley, I shouted and cried in my car, and with joy, excitement, and relief. And I was just really lucky to have UBridge and Michelle as my advisors. And I'm also really thankful that I am in the car at that moment, or otherwise other people would just definitely think I'm a crazy psychopath. So yeah, that's the level of excitement I feel at that moment.
That must be an absolutely great moment. It's like you always remember wherever you are, I think, when something special happens in your life, and that's one of life's great moments, definitely.
Yes.
So yeah, congratulations. That's fantastic.
Thank you.
Tell us about, I mean, obviously in San Mateo, you did lots of different classes, you had lots of different classmates. There's a lot of students who go directly in and they don't use University Bridge, they just go directly in. tell us a bit about how other students did. Did some of them, obviously there are many successful cases, but I mean, did other students struggle? Because I think one of the challenges students who go direct have is it's very difficult to meet with the advisors in the college, especially in San Mateo, and Santa Monica has the same problem too. So tell us a bit about your classmates.
So yeah, I think the most difference lays in the advisor. Advisor is really the key. Even though I have Ms. Shaw as my advisors, I really want to try getting a advising appointment when I first went to College of San Mateo. It was hard. It was a horrible experience. You have to wait like 2 weeks to get only one appointment, 20 minutes, and they don't really know everything like Michelle did. So yeah, and I didn't get to do another appointment throughout my semester. So yeah, I mean, you would basically have to figure out everything if you didn't have Michelle, didn't have the advisors. So yeah, that really makes a difference, because I have classmates taking computer science classes. Computer science requires mathematics, physics, and sometimes chemistry, and also programming classes. So it really, like, some of my classmates they missed like they didn't distribute their all the required courses equally into 4 semester. So they're pretty much just jamming all the difficult courses during their final semester and stress out. And yeah, that's like the worst case could happen when you don't have like a valid advisor. So yeah, that really makes a difference.
Yeah, it's certainly very, very tough. You don't want to be under pressure at the end.
Yes.
Yeah, I've even come across students in Hong Kong who didn't get enough credits in the end to transfer.
Yeah, I mean, stressing out during the final semester is the best scenario, because sometimes if you don't finish the required courses, you couldn't transfer and ended up spending another year at community college. And that, yeah, I wouldn't feel well. So
No, I mean, it's better to move on and try and finish your
yes.
degree. That's definitely true. Yeah, I've come across very sad students who actually have 58 credits or 57 credits sometimes. And of course, it's still not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah, barely missing just that 2 credits.
Yeah,
yes,
it does happen occasionally. Okay, so just a quick summary here. The difference between joining University Bridge and not joining University Bridge. You've obviously talked about before about classmates, but what do you think? Do you think if you'd gone directly in, obviously it's hard to say, but do you think it would have been the same result, or it would have been a lot more difficult?
definitely not. I mean, definitely harder. I wouldn't think I would be able to get into UC Berkeley, even UC Santa Barbara with tag admissions, because UC UBridge advisors provided me a lot of tools to succeed during my academic path. Like, they taught me where to find good professors, like like the rankings or the ratings. I mean, the ratings for professors really makes a difference. So yeah, I mean, they just provide me with all the tools I need, all the support, and remind me whenever the crucial moments happens to not miss the deadlines. So yeah, without them, I definitely couldn't make it this far.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. It's always very difficult to keep up with so many things. Many
Yes.
students have said to me, it feels like my mind is a jumbled Google calendar with everything sort of trying to keep up with it. So the advisors help a lot with deadlines, with everything, to make sure you don't miss those. Because if you miss a deadline, I've actually known students who've missed the tag deadline before.
Yeah.
There's no negotiating, unfortunately. If you miss
Right.
it by 1 minute, you miss it by 1 minute. That's it. Doesn't make any difference. It's super strict. So it's always good to get things in on time. Definitely. That's great. I'll pass over to Betty and let her talk about your advice for future students.
Thank you, Jonathan. It's always nice to hear from student itself, your experience with University Bridge. Your words is, always give motivation as well as confidence to a lot of parents and students who want to join University Bridge. Now, let's move into your advice to future students. Share with us a bit more about, how do you find studying in California? Is it safe? Because nowadays, a lot of people will ask me, definitely every parents that I meet, they will ask me, is it safe?
Yeah, I can feel that.
Yeah.
So it's in California. It's like the safest amount among all the states in the United States. So yeah, especially the community college that UBridge choose to be their location.
Mhm.
It's basically in the safest area in California as well. So like, for example, College of San Mateo, it's in like a richest neighborhood on the peninsula in the Bay Area. So it's really safe, and they have public safety systems, and so it's a really, really safe area. And as long as you don't step into San Francisco City Center or Oakland, like you've heard about that on the news every day. So yeah, as long as you don't step into that every now and often, so you wouldn't be in trouble. So
Yeah, I
it's really
do
safe in
agree that.
California.
Yep.
You
I
couldn't
think
ask for
especially when you're
better.
alone, it will be good for you to go as a group, right?
Yeah, I did in fact went into San Francisco when I first get there. It's a little bit tough, a little bit harsh, but as the dangerous moment came after the sunset. So
Yeah.
just remember to go home before sunset in city
I think
center.
that's happened to everywhere, not only in US, even when
Yeah,
you are in Taiwan or even in
yeah.
Malaysia. Okay.
California is already a lot safer, I would say.
Yep. Okay, good to hear from yourself about that.
Yeah.
Now, about spending in US, how much money have you bring to US for the first time? Did you need a car really in California or to get around? And maybe share some your daily
Expenses.
food expenses. Yeah.
So initially I brought only about $2,000
Mm-hmm.
because I stayed in the UBridge housing, and I really don't need to buy any furniture or anything. They just included it. So yeah, it was really easy. And yeah, California transportation in California is not bad. You've heard about all like
Yep.
public transportation in the United States. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
it's still comparing to the Asian countries, it's still
Mm.
not that good. Like you have to wait 15 minutes for a bus or something. But I mean, it will get you places. There is Caltrain. There is I mean, in my area, there's
Yep.
Caltrain, there's Spark,
Mm-hmm.
there's a Caltransit. So basically, you wouldn't necessarily need a car, but to me, it's I have to get a car because I'm a really outdoor person. So I like
Okay.
to travel and love to do all the things. So yeah, car definitely it's not like a necessarily thing. But if you want to explore a little bit more, go a little bit further, you just get a car. So yeah, I get my car about 3 months after I arrive in the US. And yeah. So about the daily expenses, I would say a typical meal like McDonald's. I think every Asian country have McDonald's. So just
Yes.
provide a little bit of context, like a Big Mac meal will cost about $10. So yeah, it's definitely more expensive than in Asian countries than what
Mm-hmm.
you do. But I mean, I cook a lot, so that really, caps my expenses. So yeah,
So
it's not that bad.
I mean, like cooking will be definitely better than dine out.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I see. Now, getting a car, do you have any hassle when you get a car? Did our advisor actually assist you, all these things and buying
They
cars?
assist me on I mean the process of getting a driver license. They
Okay.
told me what's more important, and they told me where to get a coach, get a
Mm-hmm.
car for the driver test. So yeah, they helped me a lot during that process. And yeah, UBridge Housing also provides a car parking lot, like a parking space. So yeah, they're really helpful. Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next one is, this is the most important one. What is your advice that you would like to give to students who want to go to CC, then transfer to 4 years university based on your personal experience?
Okay, so first of all, on top of the list is to maintain a good GPA. That's the most important things. Without a good GPA, you couldn't go places. Even
Wait, when you talk about good GPA as in 3.5 and above, 3.0 or what?
I mean, it really depends on, but my GPA is around 3.7. It's not that good. I mean, I'm willing to expose that to everyone, but yeah, I didn't have like an excellent GPA. So yeah, I have a lot of classmates who have like 3.8, 4.0 or something like that. But basically, you're aiming for A for every classes. That's how
I see.
yeah. So like tag, if you're willing to get into UC Santa Barbara or Irvine, you're aiming for 3.4, and Davis 3.2, and kind of like that. But if you're willing to get into Los Angeles, San Diego, or Berkeley, 4.0. Yeah.
Okay.
That's the advice. Yeah.
And I think that the other thing is extracurriculum will make a difference as well.
So it's for me it's extracurricular. I did a lot of extracurricular activities. It helps me a lot, not only on application. I did in fact wrote cycling in my application essay, and I think that's quite good.
Okay.
And but yeah, the important thing is to experience different perspective in life, and when you really needed it, the experience is always there. And it, like, when you're doing the activities, you met people, and basically in California, there's all sort of nice people in like tech industry or business, something. Like I know the son of Facebook CFO, so
wow,
that's really awesome. Like, yeah, I
that's
talked to
awesome.
I talked to a lot of tech people and know a lot of knowledge on like what to do or something like that. So yeah, just try to go out of the comfort zone, do things that you wouldn't normally do. Focus on your academic, but also focus on outside of the classroom activities. That's my advice.
Okay, that is good advice.
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Do we have next question? No, it's actually Q&A sessions. Now, we actually would like you guys to actually type in your questions so that we can manage it well. So one by one, instead of we unmute you all to, get everyone to come in and we can manage. So it would be good if you have any questions, just dropping in the chat room. So we will actually go through it and we'll let Benson or Jonathan or myself answer the questions.
That's the wonderful thing about online things. Everything goes silent. You think, oh, wow, did we do such a good job? There's no questions, right? Did we really cover everything?
Yes, that is the moment that I always get. When I say questions, no, everything has been like silent.
Okay, good question. The first one, this is a fairly straightforward question. After 2 years at UBridge, which year will students enter in university? The answer is year 3. So Benson's going to go into UC Berkeley year 3.
Yep.
How far in advance should I start applying to the 4-year college I want to attend?
So I could answer this one.
Yeah,
so
sure.
Basically, there's like a specific deadline or like timeline on what you should do. But basically for UCs, it's about in your sophomore year, it's which means your second year, like the first semester of your second year, basically like around October, September, that's when you would apply to the UCs. Tag admissions go a little bit earlier than that, but basically it's around your second year. And out of state schools or like private schools, it's around the end of second year, like the spring semester. So you wouldn't have to worry about it until you start your sophomore year. And basically advisors would assist you on that, so no need to worry about.
Yeah, it's especially complicated when students apply to lots of different universities across different states.
Yes.
And
they all have different timelines, so it's good to have someone to assist you on that.
Yeah, it's and unfortunately in the US it's not standardized. It's not like the UK, which has a standard system.
Yeah,
it's quite complicated sometimes. Okay, anyone any more questions they'd like to ask? Don't be shy, go ahead, type into the chat.
Oh, so I did study during my summer semester, like summer vacation. I did like math, just 2 classes. I still can come back to Taiwan and enjoy my summer vacation. But yeah, it's really helpful if you take some classes during the summer, so you don't have to panic. It just gives you some more room during the final semesters. So yeah, you could, but you don't necessarily have to. That's my answer.
Yeah. Okay.
Jonathan, do you want to answer? Yeah.
17-year-old son, English is very bad. When people say to me the English is very bad, I always wonder what that means exactly in terms of English score. Because someone said their English was very bad the other day and they produced a certificate saying IELTS 7, which I don't consider to be very bad, honestly. So any ESL course, Neil, De Anza, we do not work with De Anza College. So students can do English in Santa Monica. There is an English program there, and we can arrange it around San Mateo too. But we don't actually offer English courses at the moment. But if we look at the profile of the students, we could give more advice and look at the actual grades, because bad English, it can mean IELTS 5, 6, 7 in some cases. So better to actually see what the score is, then we can work out a plan. In general, it's harder to get the visa for English courses, just so people know. It's not so easy. Okay.
Can I change campus after year 1 in UBridge? I will say that you can change campus within our host partner. Like maybe if you are studying year 1 with University Bridge, Santa Monica, you are allowed to change to College of San Mateo because they share the education system. So if you are talking about out of UB partner host campus, then it depends on which university or which college that you want to go, whether they accept your credits transfer or not. Within California, it's easier because they are actually same education system under California.
Yeah, that's right. We have had students before who've done 1 year in one campus and 1 year in another.
Yeah,
we have had that before.
Correct. And actually some of our students, if let's say they didn't manage to register to certain subject, they actually register, like for example, study in Santa Monica, but register mathematics subject in College of San Mateo for online, so that they didn't miss out the credit, or UB transfer on time as well. So that is the beauty of doing it in one education system.
Yeah, that's right. Very quickly, can students apply to UBridge with IGCSEs? Yes, as long as you have 5 IGCSEs A to C grades. That's normally the recommended ones. Want to know your college?
NYC College, Bridge.
We work with 5 community colleges. So we have Piermont, Virginia Community College, we have College of Marin, College of San Mateo, Santa Monica College, and Irvine Valley College. We do not work with others at the moment. UBridge charges a lot. If you think about studying in any US college first, then transferring to the UC later, I'm sure everyone always thinks about lots of different choices. Is there any, when you were choosing, Benson, when you chose University Bridge, did you look at other choices too, or did you just think this one suits me?
So basically, I just look at the college in California, but then I realized that they don't, any of the agencies in Taiwan that I know of, they don't have like this kind of advisor services. So after all, I still choose UBridge because the advisors are the one who makes the difference.
Definitely. I think that's very, very important. Like a lot of people actually do in many markets ask me about Foothill De Anza and University Bridge, and why don't you work with Foothill De Anza? We have chosen the colleges we work with quite carefully for safety and other factors, taking those into account. So it's very difficult. We're not going to work with every college in California. So we do offer certain choices for a reason. Okay, if a student wants to change campus, would they have to move the visa across? We would facilitate all of that. That's not too difficult to do. You just have to move from one to the other. That's quite simple enough. We would assist with that. We'd also assist them with helping them to transport their belongings, because students do sometimes move from San Mateo to Santa Monica. So that's fine. Any other question anyone would like to ask?
Any other questions that you want to ask Benson, especially on his studies, his experience in campus?
You can ask me on my life in California as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Hian, many people say the UBridge fee is expensive. Do you think it's worth the price after what you've experienced with the advisor and the services?
So I think definitely it's worth it, because I mean, it's still a lot more expensive than just going to community college on your own. but the price, if you calculate it at, it's cheaper than like a 4-year university tuition fee. So I mean, I ended up being into University of California, Berkeley. So for me, it's really worth it.
I think
Yeah.
I think that's one of the important things is if you finish in 2 years, that's also saved you some money. If you did 3 years, which some students have to do, that costs you more money. And people have to factor that in. Because if you look at statistics in community colleges, most students actually take 3 or 4 years to transfer across the whole of the US. And in California, that's also true. So that's quite important. Betty, I'll let you answer the next question as you have A-level students.
Yes. Okay. A-levels, we accept A-level students, whether they can finish only 1 year. Normally, I will advise, my advice, or we will normally ask students to do at least 1.5 years. If they don't want to go, or if let's say they don't aim for higher ranking university like UCLA, UC Berkeley. And of course, when it comes with A-level, we'll definitely look at their result. If let's say students have B and above, most likely they will get credit exemptions about 2 subjects, which is about 8 credits. Yeah, but definitely 1 year then transfer, it's I would say chances is quite low. It will be better for students to do 1.5 years or full 2 years in order for them to get into top ranking university. How much is UC Berkeley tuition fee for 1 year? Benson.
Right. I guess that's questions for me. So yeah, I just received my tuition, like the payment thing. So to provide context, without housing and without like the cafeteria, your daily expense, it's about $50,000 a year.
How much? Sorry.
$50,000.
Okay.
So if you include your housing and all that stuff, it would easily go up to $80,000 or $90,000. So yeah, community college saves you a lot of money.
80,000 a year. That is including housing, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Around that. I wouldn't.
Okay.
I'm
Just
sure on that, but
estimations.
yeah.
Yeah. The cost of attendance, I think, is around 80 to 90,000.
Okay, this means it's slightly increased because last year I actually assist one of my students who actually would like to apply to UC Berkeley. We do rough calculations about 77. So yeah, every year the fees will be increased about 3 to 5%.
Yeah, it's basically the nature of the world, unfortunately.
Yes.
Things go up, they don't go down. Not normally anyway. It'd be nice if airfares and everything went down, right? It would be very good if things could get a bit cheaper, but sadly it's not going to go that way. The next one, if I attend a CC for 3 years, can I still apply to a 4-year university?
Definitely.
Some students do actually take 3 years in a community college.
But
you
do
can't
be aware that if you go into a 4-year university after 3 years at community college, you're still having to study 2 more years in a 4-year university.
Yeah, this is why a lot of the graduation rates, even for US local students, many students take 5+ years, especially in STEM majors, to graduate. That's true. So it's because it is quite difficult to actually finish everything in the time. So I think if you do take 3 years, Benson's right, you would then need at least 2 more years. So you're going to take 5 years to get your bachelor's degree. At University of Bridge, we try to encourage students to finish in 2 years. We have had 1 or 2 students who take 2.5 years who start in spring, but in general, we encourage students to finish in 2 years. Okay, one for Benson. When you take your TOEFL exam, how did you prepare? How did you get such a wonderful score?
I took my TOEFL exam in my final years in high school, 12th grade. Honestly, to be honest, I don't know how I get that good grade. Maybe I'm a natural like test taker or kind of like that. But yeah, I do a lot of mock tests and write some essays and really just practice my try to make my accent a little bit better. And just to like overcome like a stage fright kind of, so it makes it easier for you to speak like complete sentences. Yeah, just do a lot of exams and mock exams, I mean, so you will get prepared. Yeah, I can do it multiple times, but basically you would do well. Yeah, it isn't that hard. especially if you're familiar with like the test taking techniques in Asian countries. It's really not that hard.
That's fantastic. Yes, I mean, I think it's yeah, definitely very, very useful advice, because I know a lot of students do worry about the TOEFL test and the IELTS test. But actually, if you prepare well for the test format, when I used to mark IELTS, so many students actually make silly mistakes. They get things wrong, don't write enough words in the essay, so they lose quite a lot of marks actually. As long as you know how it all goes, the questions, practicing definitely.
The first time you see it, you would panic, you would be nervous, and you probably wouldn't do well. But the second time, the third time, you would do better.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true.
I have one question they sent to me directly. How many students does the advisor take care of? My student already admitted to IBC and she would like to use UBridge service. When can she meet her advisor online or in person once she pays the fee? So generally, our advisor are taking care between 15 to 20 students. So that is, we don't want to take more than 20 or even 25. There's one time one of our Santa Monica advisor take more than 25 and we realized that it not be so effective. So generally it's 15 to 20. Student who already admitted to IBC and would like to use our service, they can actually contact our representative. I think this one is based in Taiwan, these questions. So you can contact any one of us to liaise to ask further about the charges just for paying the fee, or switch the students to UBridge package. Yeah, normally if let's say student already in US, yeah, we will arrange to meet the students in person. Generally, our advisor meeting students like bi-weekly, every 2 weeks. And if let's say students have any urgent matters, they can actually always use a lot of platform, either WhatsApp, Line, Zoom meetings. Yeah. Jonathan, do you want to add something?
It's fairly straightforward, really. If somebody's already studying in one of the colleges, they can move over to University Bridge and have the advisor's service. They just need to let us know and we'll arrange it. I've got a student who's actually done the first year at Santa Monica and he's just joined University Bridge. He's doing he's got a very, very complicated case. He's got a 4.0 GPA, but he's got accusations of plagiarism and other things from his previous university. So we're helping him with the transfer. So we can help. We are there to help students already in the system. And, it's quite straightforward. Once the student pays the deposit, they would then meet the advisor. We do a planning of their study for the next year. So it depends what stage the student's in, though. I think it's much easier to try and do it at the end of the semester. Taking a student over in the middle of the semester is very difficult because we like to see the class schedule. We like to plan everything in advance. That's all. But yeah, I mean, we can certainly accommodate such students. It's fairly straightforward to do so. And if those students also need accommodation, we can also help with that as well.
Do it as soon as possible.
Definitely. That's what I tell people. I say it's much easier to do it as soon as possible because then it's much smoother. Because our advisors can only do so much. And if their study plan the first year is a bit messed up, then it can take longer. That's all. And some students do have the first year, they don't have enough credits. That's the other problem we've seen with some students anyway. So yeah. Any other questions anyone like to ask? Otherwise, I think we'll wrap up and say a massive thank you to Benson. You are an absolute superstar. What's your plan? What's your dream in the future? What would you like to do? Would you like to become, do a master's degree later? What's the dream? What would you like to do?
So for the near future, I like to do some data science. I would actually take a data science minor, and I would try to explore a little bit on that field and maybe step into the tech industry on that. So yeah, that's my dream, to stay around Bay Area with that degree and do something with data science and math. That's my dream. Yeah.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. And Hian will definitely invite you for lunch when she's in the Bay Area. She's going to be visiting in, I believe, in September time. 2 of our colleagues are coming, so they will definitely come and see you if their schedule allows. But yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, we really appreciate your support. Betty, anything you'd like to say?
Yeah, I think before we end the session, if we all don't mind, just on our camera for me to snap a photo.
Okay.
those who are okay, maybe you want to turn on your camera so I can snap a photo so we can share among, the whole team or partners, parents or students.
You can see our
Yeah.
beautiful faces.
Yes. Yeah, that would be good so that, it's always good to have, we can't see in person, but camera is always the way that we can see each other.
Yeah, it's always nice to have one picture of everyone to see everybody.
Yes, because there's 2 pages, so you give me a few more, 2-3 seconds for me to snap photo. Can it's everyone turn on the camera yet? Don't be shy. Okay, let me just take one photo. 1, 2, 3, smile. One moment, another one. Okay, another one, yeah. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's nice. Thank you everyone for joining us. It's really a good sessions that we can hear from our students how he actually experienced University Bridge and made his way to UC Berkeley.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Benson. Thank you.
Thank you, Benson. Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Okay.